Welcome to the first episode of our SSH series. Today we are laying the foundation for everything to come, the foundation of SSH. By the end of this video, you will understand what SSH is, how to install it, and how to use it securely with password authentication. What is SSH? SSH stands for Secure Shell. It's a protocol that allows you to securely access a remote computer over an insecure network. Since Secure Shell consists of two parts, I would like to explain what shell is, what makes this shell secure. What is a shell? Just imagine a scenario. You're going to have dinner in a restaurant. So you're a customer of the restaurant. You know exactly the chefs in the kitchen prepare the food. However, you don't walk into the kitchen and tell the chefs what you want. Instead, you talk with a waiter about your order. The waiter takes your order, delivers your order to the chefs in the kitchen, who are waiting for the order outside of the kitchen. When your order is prepared, the waiter takes it back to you. The chefs in the kitchen are equivalent to the core of the operating system, who do the tasks assigned to the computer. The waiter is the shell, who doesn't do the job but interprets your request and gets it done by the operating system, and then get the result back to you. Let's take a look at the counterpart scenario in the computer world. When you type ls in a shell, for example bash, it's like saying, "Can I see what is available?" The shell takes your request, passes it to the kitchen, which then provides a list of dishes, or in this case, a list of files and folders in your current directory. The shell then returns that list to you, just like a waiter showing you the menu. A waiter is the interface interacting with a customer in a restaurant. A shell is the command line interface, CLI, interacting with a user on a computer. Now you understand what shell is. So why is it secure with Secure Shell? Now let's imagine this restaurant is far away, maybe in another city, and you are calling them to place an order over the phone. You are still talking to a waiter, but over a long-distance connection. If you just use a regular phone line, anyone could be listening in. They could hear your order, steal your credit card number, and even place fake orders pretending to be you. But if you use a secure encrypted phone line, then your conversation is private and protected. That is what Secure Shell does. It's like placing an order through a locked tamper-proof phone line. The request still goes through the waiter to the kitchen, but no one can spy on the conversation. No one can pretend to be you. Everything is verified and encrypted. I guess you might understand what Secure Shell is. Would you like to set up your own remote restaurant? The SSH server? Let's start by installing the SS server on a machine. I would like to do the installation on a Linux system. There are plenty distributions of Linux. I would like to take Ubuntu in this example. I think once you master the gist, there is no big difference which distribution you are working on. In order to install the SS server, we need to work in a shell. On Ubuntu, by default, we work in bash. I think I need to explain the command word by word. in a simple and clear way. Sudo, this is a command that stands for superuser do. Superuser is equivalent to an administrator on Linux. Sudo temporarily promotes your current user to administrator privileges. This gives you permission to make system-level changes, like installing software. Yes, you're right. As an ordinary user on Linux, you normally can't make such changes. apt. This is Ubuntu's package manager, advanced package tool. It's like a toolbox that helps you find, download, and install softwares from Ubuntu's official software repositories. Install is quite clear. It tells apt that you want to install something, in this case, a package. Open SSH server. This is the software package that you are installing. It comes from the OpenSSH project, which is part of the broader project OpenBSD, a well-known open source effort focused on security. This package allows your computer to accept remote SSH connections. Let's put everything together. That means with temporary admin permission, use the system's package manager to install the SSH server software package from the OpenSSH project. After installing the SSH server, we'd better check whether the SSH server is running with this command. Since we are just checking the status of SSH server, not starting, stopping, or changing anything, it is usually okay to run this without sudo. In some distributions of Linux, it might still ask for sudo permission, depending on your configuration. Right now, I think I should make a quick introduction. What is system control and what is system daemon? In a Linux system, many essential services like networking, SSH, and logging starts automatically when the system boots. You can think of systemd as your Linux system's service manager, like a conductor of an orchestra. It ensures that every service starts at the right time and plays its part in harmony. And system control is the way how you talk to system daemon. For example, giving the conductor instructions: start a service, stop a service, check its status, make it start automatically at boot, even restart a service. In our case, we are using system control to ask system daemon, is the SSH server running? Here's a list using system control regarding SSH service. If you want, you could hold pause key and take a look. Apparently, our SSH server has been installed and started properly. So it seems we are on the way. I have established my remote restaurant. There's a remote restaurant already. It's time for us to have dinner as a customer with SSH client. On most systems, the SSH client is already installed, so you can test it with SSH-V. If it is still missing, you can install it using sudo apt install OpenSSH client. We have covered almost everything, so this time you have known what they are. Since we have installed the SSH server on one machine, we have the remote restaurant. And since we have installed the SSH client on another machine, we can be a proper customer. Let's visit the SSH server as an SSH client. Assuming SSH server is running on another machine, try this from the side of client. Before you log in a remote server via SSH, you need to make sure you have the authentication or you are qualified to log in. That means you have a user account, an available one, and the corresponding password to the user account on the remote server. For example, SSH Alice at this address. This is the client command that you use to start a secure connection to the remote machine. I think I need to explain them. Username. This is the user account on the remote system that you want to log into. You can only log in if this user account already exists on the remote machine. Host address. This is the address of the remote machine. It can be a host name, like the name of a machine, or an IP address, like this. Okay, let's move on. Since this is the first time that we are going to log into the server, we are promoted to accept the identity of the server. This is the fingerprint from the server. I'm going to talk about this later, but currently, let's just focus on the process of login. I just simply input yes, and now I'm prompt input the corresponding password for the user account that we are going to log in. Here you can't see anything because there is a feature activated called no echo mode for security. Okay, we are in the remote server via secure shell. SSH stands for secure shell. Security is one of the priorities that SSH would like to achieve. What I'm going to talk about next is how we could make secure shell even more secure. Now the SS server is installed and running. You should know there is a special file where you can adjust its behaviors. etc SSH SSHD config. Normally, the files under etc are setting files for various applications. Since modifying them would affect the system, you need the admin privilege. Why is SSHD underscore config instead of SSH underscore config? What is that with D? The D at the end of SSHD stands for daemon. Probably previously you have seen system daemon. A daemon is a background service that runs on your Linux system, always ready to do its job when needed. Just like the SSH client uses the SSH command to connect, the SSH daemon is what waits for incoming connections. Many system services follow this same naming pattern. For example, HTTPD, the daemon for web services, like Apache. SSHD, the daemon for secure shell. This file, sshd underscore config, contains settings that control how the SSH daemon behaves. Okay, let's look at 3 important settings in this file. The first is setting on port. Every networked service on your system uses a port number, like a gate on a building. Thinking of your server as a big building, a port is numbered gate. SSH uses port 22 by default, meaning it listens for incoming connections at gate 22. But here is the thing. Since everyone knows SSH uses port 22 by default, automated bots and attackers will often try to break in through port 22. So for extra protection, you can change the port number to something else to make it less obvious. It's not bulletproof security, but it helps reduce noises and just make it a little bit safer. Second is the setting on root login. The root user has a full control over the system, like a super admin. Disabling SSH login for root user is strongly recommended. Because the root account is often targeted in attacks, if the attackers guess out the password, they would gain full control on the system immediately. So it's much safer to log in as a regular user and then use sudo when admin access is needed. The third one is password authentication. This setting allows users to log in using a password. Right now we are using it. But in the next episode, we will introduce a more secure and convenient method, SSH key-based login, which avoids typing passwords entirely. So keep this option in mind because eventually we will want to turn this off for stronger security. Okay, you can customize your SSH server's behaviors by editing this file. Here you can change the port, like choosing a different gate number, turn off the root login feature to protect your system, control whether passwords are allowed or not. Just remember, after any changes to this file, you always need to restart SSH service by this command.